Hey, I wanted to send you a voice note to share about how you've come so far from when you wanted to take an intentional step in crafting out what you imagine your dream life to be. I'm sure you remember how the future felt blur. You had big dreams and ideas of how you wanted to move abroad and experiment with living in different countries, but you weren't quite sure what that meant. You thought that you would speed through different continents, but ended up staying for months at your first workaway and discovered slow traveling. Living with the 9 to 5 routine and feeling uninspired by your environment, you desired for a more meaningful work life balance while craving adventure. I remember you took a hard look at how you are living, feeling busy yet not exactly fulfilled. And you've always mentioned how you know that there's more to life than this. You wanted to break free from the mold so badly and was craving an alternative lifestyle but was unsure where to start. You felt like if you didn't actively change something, life was just going to happen to you instead of you really doing what you want. You started to take little bite sized actions to build momentum towards building a life to be able to do work that you love, live in places you enjoy, and being intentional also helped you take steps towards the freedom that you crave. And while figuring things out along the way is definitely going to be part of the journey, it is going to be worth it. There are going to be times that you will worry over your finances, get stressed over admin things when moving from one place to another, and also many times when you will question the choices that you have made. I remember the one word that guided you in the decisions that you made. The word was alignment with your true honest desires and wanting that alignment to translate into how you live and the things that you choose to prioritize. It was very clear to me that you knew that in order to get to a life that you want, you had to be honest with yourself about what you wanted and what you didn't want. Figuring out who you are was an important step in staying true to your guiding values for a life that you want. Living your own life was only one part of the equation. You also needed to experiment and take a chance on yourself in creating a new life. You wanted to intentionally design a life instead of just finding a job for the sake of finding a job. You wanted to escape from the idea that your job defines who you are, and wanted to explore living with a different rhythm, balance adventure and travel as you transition towards a career pivot, and try to work on your creative endeavors on the side. As you figure out your next steps, keep coming back to your values as an internal compass to design a life that you will be excited to wake up to. There might be times you are tempted to go back to the familiar way of life, where work defines who you are, because it gives you a false sense of security and financial safety. But always remember, every mindful choice counts. Recognizing your subconscious fears and saying no to the things that don't align with a life that you want to build, and having boundaries and standards, and knowing what you want goes a long way. Now, fast forward to 2025, it's been 2 years and 3 months since you first left your home on the Grand World Adventure. You were only 26 years old then. Little do you know that after 2 years, you will find yourself face to face again with making choices at a transition point. But with 2 years of experience on the move, you are going to learn that there's no right way to do things, but you can always choose to listen to what your heart is curious to explore more at that moment in time. Getting from where you are to your dream life is going to be a whole transition process in itself, where you have to consistently review where you're heading and to make choices that feel right. You're going to learn not to limit yourself to the scenarios that you can imagine, to cast a wider net for more opportunities, and to put yourself out there and to go more boldly for what you want. You've lived abroad in 4 countries as your home base, exploring neighboring cities and countries as you went along. The world is so big and you get to be different versions of yourself. I'm sure you're going to try out many different gigs, meet people from all over the world, and try out different passion projects. Making a pivot in your career path in the desire to make more tangible contributions in environmental protection and conservation, you will also be spending much effort in building your personal brand and figuring out how to make money off the internet. But I just want to send you a message to thank you for having the courage and to question the path that you were taking in life. Now that we are moving together into another life transition yet again, I want to remember how you have overcome the many challenges along the way. Things will fall into their rightful place as we actively create a life that we dream about. I know that when we intentionally choose to move towards what we want, the jobs where we live, who we love, will fall into place as we experience the joys of an intentional life.